All right, guys, it is the next day, next morning. Today is the work day. We're gonna start the day out by getting a lot of perennial seed down. We're gonna go with a couple different things. We're gonna go with one, the Comeback Kid, which is basically a clover alfalfa mix. We're also gonna mix in Hot Chick. Both are from Domain. The thing that I like about mixing the two of these is that you have, I'll call it a buffet of perennials. It's not just one thing. So when one thing is less attractive, the next thing is more attractive. So it's a buffet. There's always something here for these deer. The nice thing about chicory, a little bit more broadleaf plant, we're getting more forage per acre. So we're gonna do some frost seeding, a little bit of soil testing today, and a lot of other work, but we got about 4 acres worth of frost seeding that we're gonna do today. So time to get to work. One thing that I like to do sometimes with my perennial blend, this year I'm not going to do it because we are going to try something I haven't seen done before later in the year, and we'll get to that later. But one thing that I like to do with my perennial blends that generally lasts 4, 5, maybe even 6 years is I like to double the seeding rate on the first year planting. Now some people might frown upon that, but here's the thing: if you want best results now, putting a little bit more seed down that first year, this is one of the few times you should overseed. Overseeding is one of the biggest mistakes made in food plotting, but this is one time. I'm okay with doubling it so that you get that better crop first year. Ultimately just means a little bit better hunting that first year, and you're not really hurting much by doing that in this given scenario. 1.5 acres. God, like just picture like this corn doing really well and them coming around the corner in this clover. Trail camera over here maybe if I use them this year. Who am I kidding? I'll probably see. One thing that we are going to get very, very deep into this year is talking about soil testing and how 99.9% of you are screwing it up. We are testing our soil in such a basic way, it's not even funny, and I've learned a lot of this in the past couple of years. We're going to get more in depth with this. We're now working with a company called Soil Pro. Soil Pro, basically they make a lot of products that help unlock a lot of the nutrients that are already in the soil. And there's certain tests that we can do to see what needs to be unlocked, and then we treat accordingly. So we're going to do some more in-depth soil testing. We're going to get more into that as planting season proceeds, but now we're going to do some soil tests and figure out what we got to do to get the most bang for our buck in all of these food plots. So one thing that people screw up when doing these soil tests is they touch it with their fingers, they touch it with their hands, and it seems goofy, it seems picky, but what happens is we put oils into the soil that can ultimately kill some of the microbes, and it's not going to give you as accurate of a reading on these more in-depth soil tests that we're going to end up doing. So don't touch it with your hands. Try to touch it with some sort of clean utensil, the cleanest thing you get. Well guys, we completed our timber stand improvement project. So the whole purpose of this was, let's talk about the pros and cons of Mud Road. Mud Road, the pros of it is it allows us to sneak in here pretty easily. It gives us good access along one entire side of our property. But with that being said, Mud Road is a real road. So with that being said, other guys can come up and down this even though it's minimal maintenance road. So we wanted to create that barrier. One, not only to shield the deer that are inside this from getting shot at by possible poachers, but now with this blind right behind us being one of our best gun blinds with literally a 30-yard walk, it's gonna allow us to sneak into it without getting busted. I came to this blind the night before gun season to check on something and sneak something in quick, and I actually bumped my buck that I ended up killing. So now doing stuff like this is gonna keep that from happening. Yes, deer might bed in it a little bit, but the purpose of this was to create a visual barrier, and that's what we did. Dunzo. Alright guys, so I'm pretty pumped about this. Today we got somebody coming out with a forestry mulcher. Cody's going to come out here and clean up a lot of my trails, but we're also going to clear a new timber plot like we've talked about in the past. This property has so many deer on it. Even our 12 acres on a 100-acre parcel is not enough food, so we're over 10% in that given scenario. We're going to go even higher just to try and hold more deer, hold more bucks in daylight hours. So pretty excited for this one. Well guys, we're pretty much wrapped up. As you can see, we cleared a new plot. I would have liked to clear the trees out of the plot, but at the same time, I guess we ran out of time. So now we're gonna try and double girdle some of them, girdle some of the other ones, leave them standing. It's not ideal. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'd like a beautiful seed bed with no stumps, but we're just broadcasting into this. We're gonna frost seed it. So we're gonna double girdle the rest of these trees, throw a little seed down, and we got a lot done when it comes to this farm. I mean, everything from hanging tree stands to fixing blinds to new food plots, clearing trails, shed hunting. So this was a really good weekend. I feel like we got a lot of our winter chores done really in a couple days, but we're gonna wrap this up and then we're gonna wrap up the little trip to the Missouri farm. Trying to figure out the number right now. So a lot of times when I go to client properties, you all say, yeah, I got a 6-acre plot. Yeah, I got a 10-acre plot. I'm like, nah, it's about 3 acres when we measure it out. Nick and I are guessing what this plot's gonna be. He's saying 0.6 acres. I'm saying 0.4 acres. I originally said 0.3. Neither of us are close.
Really?
0.27.
Really?
Feels way bigger than that. So you guys have seen this plot. This is a 1/4 of an acre, okay? Even you and I both overdid it there. So look at these plots. You need to know the size of your plots when it comes to seeding rates, guys, because every one of you is overseeding. In 99% of scenarios, that's not a good thing. So we got about a quarter acre plot here we cleared. Thought it was a little bigger, but it's better than what we had before, which was nothing on the side of this farm. And we got a lot of deer. So 1/4 acre, we're gonna seed it up, and I'm glad we measured. Now we know how much seed to put down.